It's April and MineZ has received a major update. Titled Spring Cleaning, this update has some significant new and reworked content, changes to legendaries, returning legendaries, and a special egg hunt. The Emerald Shard questline has been significantly reworked, making it much more accessible to the average player. Players are also sent on a worldwide egg hunt in the Quest of Valorune, with over 60,000 XP up for grabs upon completion. Let's get started on the changes in Update 3.9.0. First up, a significant PvP change. Swords now do increased damage, and critical hits now do 30% more damage instead of 50%. This is because critical hits were dealing massive damage, sometimes even 2 hearts on one hit to a player. Overall, this makes critical hits less useful while leveling the playing field more with normal hits. PvP should overall feel less tanky, with quick dropping a much higher possibility. Next, the heal bow has been reworked. The old version used too many arrows. The new heal bow comes with colorful lore and adjusted effects. The bow now uses 2 arrows when fired and uses 2 durability. If a shot is successful, the shooter receives weakness 1 for 5 seconds, and the player's shot cannot be healed by any other heal bow shots for the next 10 seconds. The heal bow also now sends messages in the action bar, signifying the status of shots. With this heal bow buff comes a complete rework of the Emerald Shard questline. This new questline can be completed solo, and now only features 5 shards instead of 6. The 4th Z shard remains, but the other 4 require unique challenges. This makes the Eclipse Headquarters dungeon much more accessible compared to before, instead of being locked behind Shrine of the Dusk and Axis Mundi. Several new locations have been added for this new questline. There's now only 5 shards needed to enter, instead of 6. The 4th Z shard remains at Fort Z, and is pretty much free. There is a shard at Fort Erie now. Fort Erie has received an expansion, with a new underground prison area with the addition of crafting tables. Players have to move blocks around to parkour into a cell, where the Emerald Shard awaits on a skeleton. Another shard is located in a new location, a dig site south of Noxmore, where the skylight for the Eclipse Headquarters once was. Players will need several full durability iron shovels, where they dig up blocks to find the remains of an Emerald Shard. Players will have to fight zombies and even revenants and forsakens here if they are dug up. There are a few renamed special items here, such as Rusted Iron and a Rusted Iron Sword. The Cyrus slums have been rebuilt, and a new passageway leads to the Cyrus Alchemy Labs. Here, players will have to keep a boiler running while simultaneously running around and performing various tasks, from processing slime blocks to creating gut sacks. Be careful not to overload the boiler, or the room will slowly degrade. A new legendary item can be obtained after this challenge. This new item is the Acid Vial. This is a lingering potion, and when thrown, it coats players in its vicinity with acid. When affected by acid, players lose heavy durability on their armor when hit. However, players' swords that attack players covered in acid will also lose heavy durability. The final shard is in Medusa Lake. Where the pot epic chest once sat is now a mini dungeon called Serpents Hold. Players will need a Smite 2 iron sword, which they will put on the altar. This triggers a mirror challenge, where players will bounce a beam of light onto stone figures, one of which is holding the Emerald Shard. Players that destroy all the statues will get a previous event-only legendary, obtainable once again. The Gorgon's Gaze, which formerly was a chain helmet that acted almost identically to a binding helmet, is now an iron helmet with completely reworked effects. When a player wearing the Gorgon's Gaze sneaks, any players in a 10-block radius in front of them gain slowness. The slowness stacks and increases and can go up to slowness 4. If a player is under the gaze for a long period of time, they will have slowness for a very long duration, making it a decent legendary in group fights if used correctly. The helmet loses 1 dura per second while active and works through walls. The other big news of this update: automated headhunts. Players no longer have to use a forum account and screenshots to submit evidence of a headhunt, but can now click on heads in-game and get rewards when all are found. This first hunt, honoring the Valroom prophecy, features 20 heads hidden around the map, in everywhere but instances. Clicking on them will give a message in the action bar along with 3000 XP. Finding all 20 of these eggs will reward the player with some special loot. It's definitely worth it. This event does not have a set time frame, but expect at least a week to go on the egg hunt, maybe longer. When Ghost Ship was near Stillwater Motte, players liked the entrance into the swamp caves inside the ship. This has been re-added, and now there are 3 ways to enter the swamp caves, the other 2 being Sunken Mire and Swamp Pit. This new entrance is a one-way entrance though, unless players have a grapple. Rotted Tree near Abandoned Farm had a tiny buff to item drop rates. That's it. More potions if players complete the parkour. And now a quick look at bug fixes. Giants and golems no longer use their abilities when they are killed. This should prevent surprise stomps when a giant is killed, or surprise ground shaker attacks from the golem after the killing blow. There was a long-standing bug where Axis books did not do critical hit damage. This has been fixed, and now Axis books deal proper critical hit damage. In a previous update, Sugar was fixed to override the Speed 1 effect. Speed pots were left out. In this update, Speed pots also now cancel out Speed 1 effects. This is most relevant to the Manzana Cider and the Simoon's Chestplate. There was a bug where Ilum Ale and Manzana Cider had the words "no effect" in its lore. This is now gone. Desert Canyon Sanctuary's loot room's slime blocks have been replaced with water after players were dying from fall damage inside. Shrine of the Dusk's Maize Path sometimes broke, which caused great confusion. This is now fixed. A PvP Shroud did not exist in Thieves Guild, even though it was below the PvE line. This is fixed, and PvP is no longer possible in Thieves Guild. There was a trick where the Phantom Blade could be used to skip Necromancer's Tower's parkour entirely. This is now fixed. And finally, there was a bug where Wizard Tower's cauldron items could be removed from the dungeon. One of them, a special mushroom, granted instant jump boost. This has now been fixed. This update's Emerald Shard questline and egg hunt are sure to keep players busy. Good luck finding all the eggs. That's all from me. I'll see everyone very soon in the next update.